Right. So we are into Schedule 2 of the GST, CGST Act. Schedule 2. Schedule 2 of the CGST Act. What does Schedule 2? Schedule 2 of CGST Act. So what does it state? It states whether an activity is a activity in good or activity in supply. Sorry, activity in good or activity in service. What happened? Where did this go? 38. So whether it is an activity, whether an activity is a supply of good or whether an activity is a supply of a service, it bifurcates. So Schedule 2 of the CGST Act bifurcates. Yesterday we understood that under the previous regime, certain items, there was controversy as to whether such supply is to be treated as a good or such supply is to be treated as a service. For example, software. Software, the state authorities subjected it to VAT, treating it to be a good. The central authorities subjected it to the service tax, treating it to be a service. So there used to be a controversy. Now that controversy is put to rest with the introduction of Schedule 2 into the CGST Act. Schedule 2 clearly bifurcates the activities to be supply of good or a supply of service. Now, what are all those items which are to be treated as a supply of good or supply of service? Now, what is the first one? What is the activity? Transfer of a title in goods. It is automatically supply of goods. If you don't transfer the title in goods, you have allowed the utilization of goods for which you are charging something. It will automatically become service. So if you transfer the title in goods, then it is goods, supply of a good. Let us suppose A sells ready-made garments to his customers. So this is sale of good. But without transferring the title in the goods, you are allowing the use of such goods. Then it will become a service. Let us say you give machinery to A to use it for the purpose of his production activity. And that fellow is utilizing that machinery for the purpose of his production activity for which he is paying you rent. Now this is a service. The machine you gave it, there is a transfer in possession, but there is no transfer of title in good. Therefore, it will be a service. Any transfer of title in goods under an agreement which stipulates that the property shall pass at a future date upon payment of a full consideration as agreed. Classic example is hire purchase. Hire purchase. In a hire purchase, what will happen? You have transferred a good and you have told that the purchase price is to be paid in 12 installments. And you said that the property in that good will transfer only on the payment of last installment. Last installment. Now, this is a supply of good. Or let us say sales made under sale or return basis. Sale or return basis. Now, this is also same. What will happen? You will transfer the goods to someone. That's you will give 6 months time. You will give 6 months time. That other fellow who received the goods shall within 6 months either accept the good or return back the goods. And 6 months have elapsed, he has done nothing. Then what will happen? At the expiry of the 6th month, as per the stipulated agreement, that fellow is deemed to have accepted the supply. So you have transferred the title in goods and you have stipulated that the title will pass on to that other person after a certain period of time. So this is a supply of good. Okay. Any lease, tenancy, easement, license to occupy a land is supply of service. You have given a land on lease. It is a supply of service. Of course, you have a circular with regard to Pagadi. Pagadi or what you call premium, tenancy premium. For tenancy premium, you have a circular giving certain clarification. So once we are through this table, we will go to that circular and understand its content. So if you have given a land or a building or both of them on any lease or any tenancy or any easement or any license to occupy that land, then automatically it is a supply of service. Or you have given a building, you have leased it or let out a building. That building may be of any form, be it commercial, industrial, residential, or you might have let it out either for business or wholly or partly. It will be supply of service. It will be supply of service. My dear friends, you should understand that this land and building is an immovable property. So it being an immovable property, it can never be considered as a good. Because good means it includes all forms of movable property. All forms of movable property, excluding money and securities, but including what you call standing crops, etc., which are agreed to be served before it is applied to the contractor for sale, and also it includes the actionable claims. Immovable property can never be considered as good. Here also, the immovable property, the title in the immovable property is not transferred. Only that land or building along with the land is allowed to be used, for which a consideration is received. Therefore, this will be treated as supply. Treatment or process that has been applied to another person's goods. Now, this is nothing but a job work. This is nothing but job work. Job work. Now, let us say I am a garment manufacturer. Now I have procured cotton yarn, and what I have done is I have weaved it into saree. Now on that saree, I want to do some printing, dyeing work. Now this work I want to do. What I will do, once I have weaved this saree, what I will do, I will send all these sarees to the job worker. Now the job worker in his factory, what he will do? He will do all these printing work on these sarees designs. Now for which that fellow will charge some money. Now this job worker is working on another's goods. These sarees are not the property of the job worker. He is working on others' goods, so for which he is receiving money. Now this is service. This is service that you should understand. So this is supply of service. Transfer of business assets. Transfer of business assets. So goods which are a part of the business asset are transferred or disposed of. Now that will be automatically goods, because supply includes all forms of supply like sale, exchange, barter, lease, license, rent, etc. Disposal, etc. Now business assets are disposed of, then it is supply of goods. But where the goods which are held or used for the purpose of business are allowed for private use of another person. Here you are not transferring the property or title in goods. You are allowing the use of goods. If you are allowing the use of goods, and in turn you are receiving the consideration, automatically it will be supply. But here, since you are transferring the possession of the goods, it does not mean that it is supply of good. It will be treated as a supply of good only when you transfer the title in goods. So mere transfer of possession of goods without transfer of title in goods can never be treated as a supply of good. So when you are allowing the use of your goods, it will be automatically supply. When you are allowing the use of your goods, it will be supply of service. If you are transferring the title in goods, it will be goods supply. If you are transferring the possession and allowing the other person to use your goods, it will be treated as a what you call a supply of service. Now here if you observe, what has been given is goods held or used for business are put to private use or are made available to another person by use for any purpose other than business. Yours is a business asset. You are allowing it to be used by the other person. My dear friends, I would like to tell you one thing. Today you might be getting certain disturbance from my side. The building beside our building, they are carrying out some work. So because of that, in between you may hear some sounds. So kindly bear with me for today. Right? They are constructing that billing for the last 2 years and they are unable to complete it even today. So forbearance. Even though there is forbearance from our side, there is no consideration, therefore it can be charged or it can be treated as supply as per section 7 subsection 1. If I would have charged, if I have charged some money from them, then automatically it would have been considered as supply and GST might have been charged. But for my forbearance, there is no money consideration charged and hence not treated as a supply. Okay. Now here what you should understand is, it is my business asset. I am allowing it to be utilized by another person for personal use or non-business use. It is a supply and it will be subjected to GST and it is a supply of service. That you should understand. Now, moving on to the next one. Goods forming part of an assets of any business carried on by the persons and ceases to be a taxable person. Right. Let us say A is carrying on business. A is carrying on business. And on 31st of March 2021, he took a bold decision. He took a bold decision that he want to stop his business. He want to stop his business. But as on 31/3/2021, what has happened is there is still stock worth of 20 lakhs in his godowns or showrooms. There is 20 lakhs worth of goods remaining in his godown or showrooms. Now this fellow has ceased to carry on the business on 31/3/2021. His wife scolded him. His wife scolds him every day. She says, she complains that this fellow is coming to home very late every day and he is reaching home at 11 p.m. after closing the shop at 10:30 p.m. and she is vexed with that fellow and she married him because she want to spend some time and this fellow is unable to spend his time. So he could not forbear any of her scoldings and therefore he took a decision that he would start the business immediately. So abruptly this fellow has stopped the business. Then there is a stock left in his premises, business premises. Now this is deemed as a supply. Deemed as a supply. That too in course or furtherance of business. In course or furtherance of business. So automatically it will be covered by 7 subsection 1. And it is treated as supply. Now this is chargeable. Now what is this? It is supply of good. It is supply of good. But there is one exception to this. What is that exception? If you are transferring the business as a going concern, transferring the business as a going concern, or the business is carried on by the personal representative who is deemed to be the taxable person. I will tell you classic examples. Let us say a partnership firm is converted into an LLP. Now it will become LLP. Now what is happening? The concern, the business which is carried on by the partnership from previously, now it is what is it is becoming? It is becoming LLP, and it will be continued. So here as a going concern, this has been transferred. Now here if 20 lakhs is remaining as a stock as on 31/3/2021, this will not be deemed to be supply. This will not be deemed to be supply. Why? This 20 lakhs is taken over as a going concern by the LLP. LLP will continue the business and it will sell on one day and it will be treated as supply and tax will be paid. Okay, this is transfer by going concern. I will give you another example. Now these days we are dealing many such examples. There is a proprietor. This fellow died. Why? This fellow unfortunately could not withstand COVID. He was tested positive and unfortunately this fellow died. Now what will happen is his wife is there. What we have done, we have taken a GST license in the name of wife, and wife would carry on his business. Now this fellow died somewhere in the month of April 2021. Let us for convenience sake take it as 24/2021. So on 24/2001 in the godowns or his business premises, there is a stock of around 12 lakhs. Under normal circumstances, as per schedule 2, if the business is discontinued, this 12 lakhs will be deemed as a supply of goods. But here what is happening is the wife is interested in carrying on this business and she becomes the authorized or legal representative, and now the business will be carried on by the wife. Of course, a new registration should be taken in the name of the wife and the business will be transferred to the wife. This is also clarified by the circular given by the government. Of course, I don't remember the date and a number, but there is a circular. Okay. Right. Are all of you listening or am I speaking to myself and my computer? At least two of you say yes so that I will be happy that somebody is listening.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I understand that my connection is working and somebody is present in the class so that my lecture will not go in vain. Right. No, because if it happens to be a physical class, I would have got an opportunity of all of you to see all of you sleeping or all of you listening. But here what will happen is you will conveniently switch off your videos and I never know as to whether you are listening to my class or not listening to the class. Of course, I also have kids. My son is studying 9th class. My daughter is in plus 12, means 12th class. So they will also will have their AirPods or earpods in their ears, and they will be roaming around in the house, and the teacher will be saying something in that computer or laptop. Of course, they won't do all the time, but maybe in between, intermittently, they will be doing like that, and I fear that some of you might be resorting to those types of techniques or tactics, but nonetheless, you are champs students. You won't do like that, I will suppose. Right. Now I will move on. I will move on to the next point. Renting of immovable property. My dear friends, anything movable is goods. Movable is goods. If you transfer the title in goods, it will be supply of goods. If you transfer the possession of the goods, allowing the other person to use it, it will be service. Now, when you come to the immovable property is neither a good nor a service. So, if you transfer immovable property, it is not at all a supply. But here, what is happening is, you are not transferring the title in the immovable property. You are transferring the possession of the immovable property, allowing the other person to utilize that property for any purpose. And in turn, you are getting consideration. Now that is supply of service. That is supply of service. For example, you have a commercial complex, you have let it out on rent, you are receiving rent. It is supply of service. My dear friends, you should understand, you have a premises building. You have a building. Of course, it appears to be thatcher house, but you should understand that this is a building. Okay. You have let it out on rent. To whom? The worst fellow A. You have let it out on rent to the A. Now, what will A do? A will occupy the house. He is utilizing it for the purpose of his business. Now, the service provider. Now, this is service. Who is the service provider? Service provider is the landlord. Tenant is the service receiver. No, I don't think, I myself is unable to understand as to what I have written. It should not be like that. I will try to be clear. I will try to be clear. Okay. Now, service receiver, RECEIVER. Now, this fellow is the provider, this fellow is the receiver. Now, what has happened is, this fellow, landlord, forbearance. This fellow is tolerating an act of A. What this fellow is tolerating? This fellow is tolerating A's control over the property, A's possession of the property. Okay. Now for which A will be paid, A will be paying certain rent to the landlord. A will be paying rent to the landlord. Now this is service. So treated as service. Okay. Not only that, renting of precincts of religious place. Renting of precincts. What do you mean by precincts? Precincts means in and around that place. Precincts means in and around that place. So what is precincts? Highlight to, comment to, search for web of precincts. So precinct means the area. Precincts means the area within the walls or perceived boundaries of a particular building or place. It is called as precincts. The area within the walls or perceived boundaries of a particular building or a place. That is called as a precincts. Okay, so nowhere I can find a temple or a precinct. Now let us assume this to be a temple. Okay, you take it as an example. What is there? You take it as an example. This is a temple. Now this is a precinct. This is a precinct. Okay, right. Right. Now, this is the precinct of the temple. Now, what I have done is, means within the boundary, if you can observe, this is the boundary wall of the temple. This is the boundary wall of the temple. Now, what happened? One fellow will sit here and he will be delivering lectures, and all these places people will be sitting and they will be listening about Ramayana or Mahabharata or Bharata or Bhagavatam, whatever might be the religious text. This fellow will be reciting and all these fellows will be listening. Now, someone, Mr. X, took these precincts on rent. On rent. Now, suppose, let us say you have Garikipati Narasimha Rao or Chaganti Koteswara Rao. They have hired any of them, and they have asked a person to deliver the lecture on something, Ramayana or Mahabharata or something. And this temple precinct is taken on rent. Now this is surveys. This is surveys. Okay, it is surveys. Now, moving forward, renting of property to an educational institution. Renting of property to an educational institution is supply, but it is supply of service. Now, is my voice clear to all of you? At least, are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes,
well.
sir.
Right. Now, renting of property to an educational institution. You have all these Narayana, Chaitanya, etc., 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 etc. Now, what these people will do? They will take a premises on rent, and they will conduct the classes like intermediate first year, second year, IIT, JEE, that batch, all these they will be conducting in that premises. Now, this is these fellows are educational institutions, or for that matter, you take the example of CHAMS. What they have done? They have taken a premises on rent, and they have modified that premises into classrooms and office rooms, and they are paying rent to the landlord. They are paying rent to the landlord. So this is nothing but the landlord is providing what as service. Permitting the use of immovable property for say placing vending or dispensing machine. My dear friends, you might have went to many malls. Okay, in Hyderabad, is there any scarcity for malls? There are many malls. Of course, my in-laws' place is Hyderabad. I used to often come to Hyderabad. I often used to come to Hyderabad. Of course, for the last 2 years, I am not coming. Maybe in the month of August, I may have to come to Hyderabad because of my father-in-law's ceremony. Okay. So for the last 20 years, I am visiting the Hyderabad, my in-laws place, maybe yearly once or two. So whenever I come there, I visit what you call, I go to that Hyderabad Central, and what is there, another one, GVK Mall, blah, 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 I go. So all of you might have visited the Hyderabad Central, yes or no? Yes or no? Are all of you not from Hyderabad?
So visited.
Visited, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Viresh, are you from Hyderabad?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay, you are not from Hyderabad. So anyone stays at Hyderabad?
Yes, sir.
Who stays? Uha. You are from Hyderabad. Did you go to Hyderabad Central anytime?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
No, you did not go to Hyderabad Central.
No, sir.
It is in Panjagutta or somewhere.
Yes, sir, I know, but I didn't go there.
You did not go. Okay. Anyone else who went to that mall? Nobody has gone. Did anyone go to that GVK mall?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. You went to the GVK mall. Very good. Did you eat popcorn there? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, this popcorn, is there a shop there? Or in a small place they have kept that popcorn vending machine? Generally, in the malls, you will find here and there, somewhere you will find a popcorn machine. Somewhere in one corner or in between, you will find an ice cream vending machine. Somewhere you will find another vending machine or cool drink vending machine. Now, what will happen is these types, these malls, what they will do, they will give some small place for a vending machine to be placed. Okay, they will place the popcorn machine there. Now, will they do it for charity or will they charge something? They will charge something. They will charge something. Now, this is nothing but a supply of service, permitting the use of immovable property for placing a vending or dispensing machines is what a supply of service is supply of service. Okay, next. Construction of complex building, civil structure, etc. Now, all these construction activities are treated as supply of service. Is treated as supply of service. Now, let us understand What is this? What is this?
Line, sir.
You say it is a line. No, it is not a line. You should not say what you are seeing, or you should not say what you are thinking. You should say what I am thinking.
Land.
Very good. Very, very good. Land. This is land. Now, who answered that?
Sir, me Narsimha.
Maximum answer. So, what example I will be taking? I will be taking the example of what I was referring here. I am referring to construction of complex building civil structure. So, automatically this should be land only. It can't be considered as line. Okay, it is land. Very good. Okay, right. That is land. Good. Now, I constructed a building on this. I have completed construction. Now, what is this? I have completed construction. What is this? Can anyone tell?
Building, sir.
What is this? You should answer properly. You should answer in such a way that I understand what you are saying. So, what is that? Okay, Narsimham, can you answer?
Yes, sir. Building.
Building. What else?
Complex.
What else?
Civil structure.
What else? Immovable property. Immovable property. Immovable property is not a good. First point. Yes or no? Immovable property is not a good. Now, somebody asked me, appointed me to construct this. Now here in this construction, what all have went in? In this construction, so many items went in. Can you mention a few? Can you mention a few? Cement, bricks, what else?
Sand,
Wood. Next, blah 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 blah, etc. Plus labor also. Now, this is a composite supply. This is a composite supply. Now, here, what you understand is, now, for whom I am constructing this? For whom I am constructing this? I am constructing this for X. Now I have commenced the construction. Commenced the construction. Now I have taken advance. How much? Partly or fully? Before completion. Before completion. Then this will be treated as supply of service. So, my dear friends, I am constructing a building for the purpose of sale. I have received at least a part or full of the consideration before completion certificate is obtained. Before completion certificate is obtained. What do you mean by completion certificate? The authority, municipal authority, after inspecting it, they will give a certificate that this has complied all the things and it is ready for occupation and it is fit for occupation. That is completion certificate. Sometimes if you construct in panchayat areas, there will not be any completion certificate. They won't give. Then what you have to do? You have to complete the building and go to a civil engineer, architect, so and so fellows, and ask them to inspect the building, and they will give you a certificate that this is complete. Before you receive that completion certificate, even if you receive a part of the consideration, then it will be treated as supply of service. Suppose you are constructing the building for X. You are constructing the building for X. And 10th July is the date of completion certificate. Until 10th July, no money was received. No money was received. This is for 1 crore. Entire 1 crore is received on 11/7/2021. Entire money was received on 11/7/2021. After completion certificate is received, now this becomes immovable property. This becomes immovable property. Once it is immovable property, no supply. This comes into Schedule 3. This comes into Schedule 3. It is neither a supply of good nor a supply of a service. Okay. Here, what has been told is the same point. Construction of complex or building or structure intended for sale, except where the entire consideration has been received after the issuance of completion certificate by the competent authority or first occupation, whichever is earlier. Now, example, Rishabh Constructions constructed individual residential units for 1.2 crore. 90 lakhs before completion certificate is issued. So automatically this becomes supply of service. Supply of service. Now here what they are saying, in construction of a complex building, civil structure or part thereof, including a complex building intended for sale to a buyer, wholly or partly, except where the entire consideration has been received after the issuance of complete certificate. Now here you have to understand two things. Whether the construction is for sale or you are engaged to construct a building. You are a developer. You are getting it constructed for sale. You are a contractor. You are engaged for construction. There is a difference between a developer and a contractor. The contractor constructs the building, he will not sell. He constructs and take his consideration. Developer, what he does, he himself constructs or get it constructed for the purpose of sale. It can be either wholly for sale. Sometimes what will happen? That fellow will keep the tent of penthouse. Remaining he will sell. Sometimes he will sell the entire construction. Whatever might be the case, before you receive the completion certificate, even if you receive a rupee as a consideration advance, it will be treated as a supply of service. But you are receiving the entire consideration after completion certificate, then it will fall under Schedule 3. And it is neither supply of service nor a supply of a good. Construction will also include additions, alterations, replacements, remodeling of any existing civil structure. Whom do you mean by competent authority? Means generally the municipality or what you call this corporations or panchayats, etc. Now, sometimes what will happen is that place there will not be any issuance of completion certificate. Then what you have to do? You have to go to a architect or a chartered engineer or a licensed surveyor, and then you have to obtain the completion certificate. Okay. Next. Temporary transfer or permitting the use or enjoyment of an intellectual property right. This is a service. This is a service. Temporary transfer of a patent or use of a patent. Next. Development, design, programming, customization, adaptation, upgradation, enhancement, implementation of IT software. This is also service. Previously, for software, it was treated as good by the VAT authorities. It was treated as a service by the service tax authorities. Agreeing or obliging to refrain from an act or tolerance of an act or situation. Means it is a tolerating or forbearance. I told you previously, this worst fellow beside me is constructing the building for the last 2 years. And I am subjected to his sounds, I am subjected to his dust, etc., etc., etc. I am tolerating, I am bearing. Now, is it a supply? If there was a consideration, it would have been supply. That fellow is not paying me. I didn't ask him anything. Okay. Let us say, there is something. Okay, Narsimha, what is this? This is a town or a city. This is a town or a city. You may say that it is a rectangle, but you think it is a rectangle, but I am supposing it to be a city or a town. Now, what is this? Now, what is this? What is this? And what is this? Can anyone tell what is this? It is an area. Peta, Panjagutta, Amirpet, Jubilee Hills, etc. Now here there is a cable operator. And he is laying lines and he is giving connections. Now this fellow is slowly coming into Amirpet also. Now there is one Mallesh. What this fellow has told this Jagadish is, Jagadish, this is Amirpet. For the last several years, I am conducting this cable business. I am providing the connections. So you don't come into my place, my area. And Jagadish told that all of us are Indians. All of us are brothers and sisters. It is not that there is a difference between Andhra, there is a difference between Telangana, there will be a difference between North, South, etc., etc. All are one. India is one. All sorts of things have been told by Jagadish to, who is this fellow? Mallesh. Now Mallesh one evening, fine evening, what he told is, we will do one thing. Jagadish, you come and say, both of us will sit and discuss. Now these two fellows, under some cordial environment, both of them have sat and came to a conclusion that Jagadish will not venture into Amirpet, for which Mallesh will pay rupees 1 lakh. For which Mallesh will pay 1 lakh to Jagadish. Now this is supply of service. This is supply of service. Not only that, there will be certain other types of arrangements. There is one Mr. A working with X Limited. He worked with X Limited for 20 years. Now this fellow wants to quit X Limited. Why this fellow wants to quit X Limited? Can anyone tell? Why that fellow want to quit X Limited? A. Is anyone there or nobody is there? Yeah, am I telling to myself? Okay, Viresh. Why that fellow
Sir,
want to quit? Viresh Kumar, can you answer? Anyone can answer?
Sir, maybe he's not satisfied.
Be clear as to what you are saying. Lakshmi Narasimha, will you answer?
maybe low salary, sir.
Low salary might be one of the reason. Next. Uha, you want to say something?
Sir, or he's expecting a promotion but he's not getting it.
We have an issue with your voice, I suppose.
Sir, maybe he wants a promotion but he's not getting it.
He is
expecting a promotion, sir, but he's not getting a promotion.
okay. He is expecting a promotion and he is not getting the promotion. Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, maybe he got a better hike in another company.
He got a better opportunity in another company. What else? Come on, think out of the box. There might be various reasons. And you should tell me as to the reason what I am thinking. It's not the reason what you think. You should be able to tell me the reason what I want to tell it by way of an example. That you should find out. Because A has worked with the X Limited, he came to know in and out of X Limited's business. Let us say X Limited is dealing in a particular type of goods. For the last 20 years, he found out all the business techniques and he came to know where the good is purchased, for what price it is purchased, where the sales market is there, at what price it can be sold, what are all the nitty-gritties of this business. He learned everything. He worked very sincerely. He learned everything. Now he wants to establish that business for himself. Now he wants to quit. And he once on a fine morning, he told it to the boss. Bosses are, I want to quit, sir. He asked, the boss asked this fellow, why Mr. A, you want to quit? For the last 20 years, you are very much sincere. Why you want to quit? My wife told that, husband, you quit. That's why I'm quitting, sir. Will that fellow believe that answer? Will that fellow believe the answer? He will never believe that answer. He already has a doubt that A will be setting up his own business and the same line of business. Now, this boss sir, what he has done is, Mr. A, come to my cabin, sit. This fellow told A that, my dear A, don't carry on my business. Similar business you should not carry on if you go outside. You work with me, no problem. You want to quit, I will let you go. But you should not carry out the same line of business, for which I will be paying you 10 lakhs. I will pay you 10 lakhs, don't carry on the same line of business. Non-compete fees. Non-compete fees. Now, this is treated as supply, but it is a supply of service. It is a supply of service. So, what you need to understand is, agreeing an obligation to refrain from an act. I don't establish my cable business in Amirpet, or I don't engage myself in a business which is competitive to you, or forbearance or tolerating an act is supply of service. This cable operator non-compete fees I have told you. And what about tolerating an act or a situation? Let us say I place an order of 1000 units to a manufacturer. right? And I asked him to supply it in 1 month. Now, as per our purchase order, we both of us agreed that if the product is not supplied within 1 month, then this fellow has to pay me 10,000 per week as damages. This fellow should pay me 10,000 per week as a damage because I am tolerating his non-supply of goods. I am a manufacturer of a product. I have my orders. I have my deadlines and commitments. I have my supply commitments. Now this fellow has to give me raw material. Unless I get the raw material within 1 month, I will not be able to manufacture my product. I will not be able to honor my commitments. So I may incur cost. So we, at the time of purchase order itself, both of us agreed that if my supplier do not supply me within the stipulated time limit, immediately after the expiry of the stipulated time period, every week he has to pay me 10,000 as damages. Now this is tolerating. This is a tolerating or bearing. I am tolerating his non-supply for which I have paid 10,000 per week. It is supplied and it is subjected to GST. It is a supply of service. It is supply of service. Notice pay recovered from employee leaving the job. Notice pay. Actually, as per Schedule 3, the services rendered by the employee to employer is neither supply of good nor supply of service. That is only as per the contract of agreement. But if something is outside the contract of agreement, then it will become a supply. Let us say there is X Limited and there is one A who is joined as an employee of X Limited. Now this fellow told X Limited told, my dear A, you are on my rolls from this day. I will pay you monthly 50,000. I will give you 1,000 petrol allowance. Of course, this 1,000 is nothing today. A liter being 104 rupees. And having a car in these days is a very much costly affair. And having two cars these days is a nightmare. Okay, you believe me, I know what is maintaining two cars. Now the petrol itself is 104 rupees per liter. What we are going to maintain, worst fellows. So anyhow, of course, at 6 years back, I was promised that everything will be rosy, but nothing is rosy as on today. Anyhow, we are earning or living. It is a different matter. So 1,000 petrol allowance he told, and he told a rent-free accommodation, and he told a provision of what you call a car, etc. All these things are there. Okay, but this fellow told that if you want to leave the employment or if you want to quit the employment, you should give me 3 months notice. You give me 3 months notice. Why? Why? Because there will be a vacancy. Now, if abruptly A comes, X sir, my wife told to resign the job. I am resigning from tomorrow morning. I won't come, sir. Now what will happen? This X Limited. So who will do the work of A? So at least this fellow should have a notice of 3 months, because this fellow, what X Limited has to do? X Limited has to find or recruit another person in place of A. So you should have some time. Now, if this fellow quits immediately without 3 months notice, then there is a stipulation in the employment agreement that A will pay 1 lakh. A will pay 1 lakh to the employer. A will pay 1 lakh to the employer. Now, this is supply of service as per Schedule 2 of the CGST Act. This is supply of service as per CGST Act. Right. Transfer of right to use any good for any purpose. Previously, we have examined a situation wherein a business asset was allowed to be used for a personal or a private purpose previously. But now here, what is the case? There is a transfer of a right to use any good for any purpose. Any purpose. Machinery given on hire. Okay. Now this is also supply of service. This is also supply of service. Composite supplies, works contract. Works contract is supply of service. Means works contract means it is a composite supply. Composite supply is means it has more than one supply of good or a service. Somebody engaged me to construct a building. Now in that building I use cement, I use bricks, I use sand, I use sanitary ware, I use electrical equipment, blah 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 blah. Apart from that, I have applied labor. I have applied my invested my time, etc., etc., etc. Once this building is constructed, is completed, it comprises of both good as well as service. There is a good as well as service. Previously in VAT regime also, the works contract was subjected to two indirect taxes. One, they used to levy service tax, another they used to levy VAT. But of course, if this is 100%, what they used to do is they used to divide 75%, 25%. I don't remember exactly what is the percentage point, but on some portion they used to levy VAT, on some portion they used to levy service tax. So works contract is a service. Works contract is a service. Okay, that you should understand. There is a definition for works contract, means contract for building, construction, etc., 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 of any immovable property wherein transfer of property in goods is involved in the execution of such contract. Once I have constructed the building, this became immovable. I am engaged to lay a road in which I will be using this tar or so and so, so and so, so and so. Now, I have constructed the building. This building, I am transferring cement also. Yes or no? Because I used cement in the construction of the building. So I am transferring cement. I used bricks in the construction of this building. I am transferring bricks also. Okay. Now, supply in a hotel is service. Goods being food or any other article for human consumption or any drink, catering, hotel, and it means restaurant. Now the other day I asked someone and someone has replied that they ordered a cool drink. Of course, I believed that it is cool drink, right? And they ordered what you call paneer butter masala, something like that. And they ordered one butter naan. Now what is happening? Here this is a composite supply. It involves both goods as well as service. Now what they are saying is it is a service. It is a service. Though it involves an element of good, but still it will be treated as a service. That you should understand. Supply of goods by unincorporated association or body of persons to their members for cash, deferred payment, or valuable consideration. Supply of goods by unincorporated association. It is supply of goods. If you are supplying goods, let us say there is a resident welfare association, Rama Apartments. Rama Apartments has a owner association. Now they have formed themselves into a society. That may be a registered society or an unincorporated society. Okay, or an unincorporated association. Now they have procured air conditioners to be supplied to its members at a concessional price. Now here supply of goods is being done. Therefore, it will be treated as supply of goods. Okay, good. Now coming to the taxability of I think that today we have covered only 5 or 6 pages. That is from page number, how many pages we covered today? From page number 35 or 38? From here I have covered. So 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Where are we now? 42 and 43. Okay. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 40. Okay, maybe 5 pages we have covered. No issue because the content is like that, which required much explanation and examples. So we will continue on Monday. Okay.